Loads of good freebies this week. The first is from Strezov Sampling, and it's a nice little freebie which takes one of their best sounding drums from the Thunder Extreme collection and presents it as a solo Taiko instrument on its own. You need the full version of Contact to run it, and you can find it at the Strezov Sampling website. A very generous offer from Sound Ethers next, which runs in the full version of Contact 5.6.6 and above. This 476 megabyte library is great for creating soundscapes and textures, and of course it's even greater because it's completely free. It uses the photosynthesis engine in Contact, and this gives lots of options for manipulating the sounds. Head over and grab Free World by Sound Ethers from their website. Cello Overpressure is from SoundMutare, and if you write a lot of horror or suspense scores, then this freebie is really for you. This is 130 megabytes in size, and it's got lots of spooky cello scrapes and scratches. It's available from SoundMutare completely for free, or you can give a donation if you find the sounds useful. Lastly, there's a whole bunch of free packs from Looplords at looplords.net. There are loads of small sound collections here. New packs include 80s drums, Akai Tomcat samples, and a complete sampling of the Texas Instruments Vocade sample set. You can donate or simply grab them for free at the Looplords website. I fawned over Impact Soundworks Super Audio Cart in Samplecast 13, and now they're back with a really worthwhile freebie. They've stripped down Super Audio Cart and just included the Game Boy samples and are giving it away for free. It runs in the full version of Contact 5.5.2 and above, and Super Audio Boy has a huge amount of functionality under the hood. You've got multi-sampled waveforms here and 50 presets. Do check it out at the Impact Soundworks website. Gloves Glock from Composing Gloves is a cool free Mallets instrument for the full version of Contact. For a freebie, I think this has a rather nice interface and a huge number of controls for shaping the sound. There are also several other free sample packs on the Composing Gloves website. All you need to do is create a free login to access them. Roth Air from Daniel Rothmann is a free plugin which uses multiband compression and saturation to introduce air and presence to your audio. It's available in VST and AU formats for both Windows and Mac in 32 and 64-bit versions. Click the link in the show's notes for the download and try it yourself on pads, vocals and strings. Lastly, a quick mention for this classic FET Compressor plugin, which is completely free from Analog Obsession. It runs in most major plugin formats for Mac and PC, and is a really nice taster of what some of their other plugins are like. Check it out at the Analog Obsession website. It's that time of year again when Computer Music Magazine blesses us all with its Freeware edition. Their Freeware collection is now up to an incredible 73 different instruments and effects, with the newest one being XILS Lab Styx CM. This is a drum synth and sequencer free on the cover DVD. Personally, I don't even have a DVD drive to use this, but the download edition has everything you need too. I've written for Computer Music Magazine for the last few years, and I think for the £7 cover price, the content is fresh, the freebies are well worth it, and there's new stuff every month. Do check it out. Next up, a generous freebie from Jasper Blanc. It's solo violin Legato, and this has been released alongside a great choir that's on the Performance Samples website, and also a new piano as well. Do check them out. This Legato vibrato violin is about 200 megabytes in size, runs in the full version of Contact 5.5.1 and above, and it's very basic. There's hardly any controls here at all, but it does sound absolutely beautiful, typical of Jasper Blanc. Do check it out. Another name check now, Benjamin Schulz has released Spectrum, which seems like a really useful freebie. It's available for PC and Mac in most formats and gives you a frequency display of up to 4 channels or 2 stereo pairs. You can look at the EQ frequencies of your mix in real time, and this is really useful for spotting where tracks might be masking one another or interfering with one another in your mix. You can use it to monitor a busy mix quite easily. There's also a 16-channel paid version. Do have a look at the link in the description below for details. Before this week, I'd never heard of Dead Duck Software, but they've got a fun name and some very generous freebies, so why not include them here? Their effects bundle includes 16 simple but effective plugins, and they're for Windows only. Do be aware of that. You've got a flanger here, gating, phaser, chorus, and many other ones too. They've also got 2 synths available, again for Windows only, a digital subtractive synth and an FM synth as well. As I'm on Mac, I haven't had a chance to test any of these out, but if you're on PC and you do download them and give them a try, please let me know in the comments below what you think. This week's big freebie is Church organ from Nils Neumann. Now, thanks to Niels for contacting me and letting me know about this new organ library, which he's put together himself. It's terribly impressive for a freebie. He's currently hosting the download links on the VI control board, and you can have a look at the link in the show notes. This free organ runs in the full version of Kontakt and has 8 different patches. There's 5 microphone positions that have been recorded and 3 round robins per note. It's a really generous offer. If you haven't already got a church organ, you could do a lot worse than pick this one up. Do check it out at the link in the show notes. There's one main freebie this week. Head over to the Time and Space website for a free version of Dronar, which I mentioned one of their packs earlier on in the show. You've got 20 presets here taken from the 4 Dronar modules that have been so far released. And as a bonus, you get most of the controls in the full version of Kontakt 5.6.8 and above. Can't say fairer than that, so go and pick it up at the Time and Space link in the show notes. This is a rather nice free library courtesy of the producer store. It's Angel's Harp. So it's around 660 megabytes in size and samples harp tones with 4 different velocity layers. It runs only in the full version of Kontakt, just be aware of that. But you can check it out in the link in the show notes for the download information and more about the producer store.